Yo, what's up, you guys? So today I want to give you a sick topic about setting up a shoot with Instagram models. How do you actually get them to say yes? How do you set up the shoot, take the photos, and then what do you do after the fact? Well, for some people it's a little bit different, but I want to give you my perspective in case you're looking to get into portraits or fashion or lifestyle photography, something where you need a dedicated model and you want to go through Instagram to get it. So if that interests you, stick around, watch the intro, and we'll talk about setting up a photography shoot with an Instagram model that you've never met before. So the first stage of the photo shoot is actually twofold. You have to actually find your model first, and then second, set up a line of communication to be able to talk with them about all sorts of details when it comes to the photo shoot. So I actually did a recent video talking about how I personally go about finding models on Instagram. If you want to check that out, it's in the cards above, but generally speaking, what I like to do is use hashtag strategies to find models. Now I can do models in my area, models next to me in nearby cities. I can do modeling agencies. I can look at other photographers' pages. There's lots of ways to go about doing this, but initially this is the first step, is finding the model that you want to work with. The second leg of the first stage actually deals with that line of communication like I was talking about. This is where you want to be the most proactive, because by doing so, you will iron out all the details for later on. Things like time of the shoot, locations, maybe your outfits if they're going to be multiple ones, or if you're going to do multiple locations, things like that, or if you're going to charge, or if the model wants to charge for their services. All of these things need to be ironed out in this stage. So have that line of communication and make sure you're as transparent as possible. Make sure that you're giving up all of the details that you have at the moment. That way they can decide whether it's going to work for them and also whether it's going to work for you. So just like I said in the first stage, you need to be proactive in the second one as well. That way you're ready to shoot and you're not feeling rushed when it's time to actually take photos. Some things to think about at this point of the process: deal with the fact that you need to have everything already ready, that way you're ready to shoot. So this means having your bag packed, if you're going to take a bag, if you're going to take speed lights or something like that, making sure that you have fresh batteries. All of your gear is essentially ready to go, ready to shoot. On the other side, make sure that you get to the location a little bit early, because even if you've already gone ahead and scouted beforehand, today might look a little bit different based on how it looks outside or whatever. So what I like to do is actually walk around maybe a half hour before where we're going to shoot and just look at different things, because maybe I missed something in the past that I'm not seeing or didn't see then that I do see today. So things like that, be proactive with that. Also, you can make sure that things like parking are really easy for your model, because just like you don't want to be rushed, they don't want to be rushed. So the easier you can make it for both parties, the better your shoot's going to be. And now we're through that part of the process and we are ready to shoot. We have our camera set, we have our lights set, our model's ready to go, all of the things like I said before. Now we're in the middle of shooting. So what do we do now? Well, to be honest, this is the part in the process where you get the most creative control, because we're talking about you firing your shutter of your model for your work. So that way it's your photo, right? So I don't want to tell you necessarily how to take your photo, at least for this video. But what I do want to say is that if you've been proactive in the first two stages with communication and the setup of the actual shoot, I promise this part of the shoot will go seamlessly. And the pro tip that I would give you in this section deals with the fact that I hope you have fun, because it'll be the most fun you have all day, because it was basically rush to get to this point, and now it's just enjoy it. And with that, I hope you do. I hope you have a lot of fun, and I hope you talk with your model and make them laugh and do all of these things, because these will be great photos. Because if you don't and you feel awkward, you're going to make your model feel awkward, and whatever, if you don't feel right, they don't feel right, it's not going to be a good photo. So therefore, make sure that you're enjoying this moment as much as you can. And that all leads us to stage number 3. We're talking about editing and delivering the photos. So this part of the process can be really easy or really difficult depending on how proactive and how much you communicated in that first stage. Let me tell you why. So the reason why it can be easy or difficult depending on how much you actually talk with the model beforehand is because there's a lot that goes into the editing and delivering of these photos. For instance, when we're talking about editing, we need to know a lot of details on how to style the photos. So the question is, are we styling them to our grid or our feed as the photographer? Or on the other side, are we trying to style them for the model so they have something to post as well? This is something that you need to hash out with them before you even get to this point. But if you haven't, this could be really difficult, and you're going to go back to that line of communication, so at least you have that. And as an aside, when we're talking about editing, I think you should work to fit their feed much more than you should yours, initially speaking, because that way they're as happy as possible, because that photo fits their work more than it does yours. It actually works really well for them, and that's what you want. You want them to be happy as possible. That way you can get more work and more models to work with you, because they see that you can do this for them. So don't be stuck on an edit thinking that, oh, I really like this edit, but then the model's like, well, can you do this? And you're like, no, I can't. I don't like it that way, or it doesn't work that way, or it's not how I shot it, anything like that. I think if anything, and you send them something and they don't like it, do a re-edit, do 2 re-edits. In my opinion, do 5 re-edits, because that's what the model wants, and that's what's going to get you more work down the line. So make sure you're doing that. And that brings us to the final portion when we're actually talking about delivering the final product. And for this part, it's very simple, but hopefully you've hashed this out with your model before just sending it however. But one thing that I like to do when we're talking about delivery is asking the person how they actually like to receive those photos, whether it's on Google Drive, Dropbox, or even like a service where you can actually like and download something like a shootproof.com. There's a lot of different ways to do this. It's kind of personal preference, what you feel is most professional or works really well as far as easy downloads. I'd say do whatever works for you on that aspect. I like personally either Dropbox or Shootproof, but beyond that, it's kind of personal preference. But hopefully you'll do it to the preference of your model, first of all. And that's the entire process. So hopefully all of this together will help you out with your next photo shoot with an Instagram model that you've never met. Hopefully you'll take at least pieces, if not all of this information, and apply it to your work, because I promise this will help you on the shoot day, it'll help you before your shoot, it'll help you in so many different ways, because you will be less stressed and more creative in your actual shoots. So if it does, I hope you will actually hit that subscribe button letting me know you did. Make sure you also hit the bell notification so that way you get all the new content when it comes out. And if you really like this, I hope you'll hit that thumbs up button letting other people know you did as well. And of course, if you need any further information or clarification, make sure to leave me a comment. Ask me that question and I'll make sure to get back to you. But with that, I'm actually going to hit you with my typical and then cover the camera, and I'm going to peace out for now. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.